Hello again, YouTube, and welcome to the very first of my auto-assembly reviews. Yeah, I know I've taken a long time to actually get down to reviewing my stuff, my haul from auto-assembly, but as I've mentioned a couple of times, there's been a fair bit preying on my mind of late and demanding my emotional and creative energy, but I think it's about time I actually got back on the horse and started sorting out my correspondence and all of that nonsense. So this is going to be my first subject matter, Dark Scorponok. Now this mould, I was inspired to pick this up by Ray's review, I Love Mess. I mean, that's such a it's such a stunning mould. I never got the original Energon one, and I kicked myself for it. I had plenty of opportunity to get it, and I didn't, and I was very distraught about that. So I was very, very pleased to be able to finally pick it up. Now, not only is this a stunning mould, it's also a wonderful character. I had to actually do some research to find out where this character came from and who he was, because he doesn't really occur in any of the standard toy lines. He only occurs in a comic, I believe. I don't know whether he occurred in the Cybertron cartoon, because I watched about the first few episodes and then thought, fuck it, this is awful. I haven't watched Galaxy Force yet, but I'm reliably informed it's very good. So I may be having a look at that at some point. But Dark Scorponok is one of the many heralds of Unicron. He is an undead, spark-sucking, vampiric character. Yeah, he doesn't have a spark of his own. He's reanimated by Unicron, and is constantly tormented by the vacuum at the very core of his being. In order to alleviate the agony of it, he has to drain the spark energy of other Transformers. Isn't that lovely? He's an undead soul vampire, a la Raziel from the Soul Reaver series. Wonderful. And he's also a Transformer. Fantastic. I love that. Now, the mould itself is just a recolor of Energon Scorponok, and it's just beautiful, as opposed to the garish greens and purples of the original release of this mould. You have these wonderful muted greys and blacks and very, very deep blues to emphasize the whole undead thing, I imagine, counterpointed by golds and reds and some quite garish oranges as well. Now, in this mode, he has aspects of a construction vehicle, but also more militaristic or aggressive elements, such as these missile launchers inside of his claws, these blades, guns on his tail, and the tertiary weapons here. He is absolutely beautiful, rife with detail. Lots and lots of gimmicks as well. He actually has a force chip that you can insert into there, which leads me to believe he was originally part of the Cybertron line. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me really, and all that does, if I can find a force chip, yay, I've got one. It's Ratbats, I believe, this one. All it does is makes those guns pop out like so. Nice little unobtrusive gimmick. That's what I like to see in a Transformer like this. Now, colour scheme, detail, etc, etc, besides, he is beautifully articulated. His claws will go in any which way you want, but they're not on ball joints, they're ratcheted and have a lovely click to them. Also, his claws have this wonderful gimmick where they will open and close, which is very, 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 very nice. They're on hydraulics here, which, oh, it's just beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. And it has a little red cockpit there as well. Very, 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 very nice. I do believe this guy also has sounds or something to that effect, but I haven't put the batteries in him, and I don't even know if they work, to be honest. I don't care. It's just such a beautiful thing, this mould, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. Just on the basis of this mode is beautiful. Also, like the original Energon Scorponok, of which it is a recolor, this mould is something of a homage to Gen 1 Scorponok. It has various little details that are obviously designed to harken back to my favourite Gen 1 Decepticon, not least of which is just his overall Scorpion-like aesthetic. I mean, he is very, very Scorpion-like with this tail coming up and the claws here. But there are elements such as these guns at the side here, double-barreled, that are very, very, very reminiscent of those that Gen 1 Scorponok has on his back in his Scorpion mode. There are actually a lot more references in his robot form, which I will show you when I get there. He actually has a secondary, a tertiary alt mode, which I didn't know about until I looked it up on the internet. He has a sort of rocket ship mode, which is beautiful, and I'll take him onto that right now. And there you have Dark Scorponok's entirely successful jet rocket ship mode. Now this guy is a genuine triple changer. Both of his alt modes are coherent and beautiful. Just look at that. Look at it. It's wonderful. It's huge for one thing. This is a meaty toy to have in the hand. There's a lot of weight to it. And it carries over the detail from the other two modes. There's also very, 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 very little indication of what else it might transform into, which is beautiful. I particularly like these enormous thruster things on the back. I love it. And they're multi-directional as well. You can move them around, which is lovely. This, in fact, I think this one is my favourite of his alt modes. It's just wonderful. And I have to say, there is almost too much that is brilliant about this toy going on to express in a YouTube video. If you don't have this mould yet, in either colour scheme, then find it. Find it somewhere, because it is a stunning transformer. It really is. I mean, I don't generally... Energon and Armada, I think, is very hit and miss indeed. But, my God, when it hits big. And this is one of its biggest hits imaginable. It's wonderful. And I would buy it on the basis of this mode alone. This mode. It looks fantastic. And it's highly playable as well. And look at that. No undercarriage kibble at all. Is there any kibble on this thing? Not really. Everything becomes a coherent part of the jet / rocket ship or whatever the hell it is. Also, it's legitimately Cybertronian. Usually when a mode is described as Cybertronian, part of me goes, because usually that's an excuse for something that has lots of kibble or isn't terribly coherent. This is just ingenious. I love it. I absolutely love it. And my God, if you don't want it yet, then my God, what kind of Transformers fan are you? Go out and buy it now. Right, on to final mode, Robot.